Hey y'all, Dino here. Well, I'm back from my Appalachian Trail section hike from the southern terminus at Springer Mountain to Neel Gap. To find out how it went, what I saw, and who I met, stick around. All right, folks, this is Brett. This is my shuttle driver. Brett, tell us a little bit about yourself and your service.
My name is Brett Eady. Trail name is Suches. Did a 2017 southbound hike and decided to continue to be part of the trail, or at least be around all those wonderful people around the trail. So I started Shuttle Service this year, and I've had a great year shuttling people back and forth. Some really interesting, good people on the trail this year, and good luck to everybody on their through hike.
How does somebody get in touch with you?
You can email me, beady2727@gmail.com, or you can call me 404-569-8776. I'm on the ATC Georgia website. I am on Guthook, White Blaze as well. Hopefully AWOL next year.
All right, we'll put a link to you down here in our description section to the bottom of it. All right, well, listen, it was great to meet you. I appreciate the ride and appreciate the good conversation.
Absolutely.
All right,
Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot. You have a good day.
Yes, sir.
Brett's really a great guy. Had a great conversation. Told me a lot of things about the trail that I didn't know, and a lot of things about his experience on the drive there. Took us about an hour and 15 minutes, maybe an hour and a half, because we had to drop off a few other folks at Woody Gap that were also part of the shuttle. But Brett's a great guy. I mean, look at his email address. Be a dad. I mean, you can go wrong with somebody's got an email address like that. One of the reasons that he actually traveled Sobo, and the reason he did that is because if he traveled Sobo, it would work out better so that he could be at his daughter's graduation, or his daughter's birthday party. It may have been his daughter's 21st birthday party. Either way, he was sacrificing what he wanted to do and breaking up the continuity of his hike to go there and be with his family. So, great guy. Highly recommend him. I'll be using him again. His territory covers all the way from Springer Mountain all the way to Fontana. So he was also the most reasonably priced of the folks I talked to, and people that I tried to make arrangements with, and so it worked out great, and can't recommend him enough. All right, y'all. So here we are. We are at the southern terminus of the Appalachian Trail, Springer Mountain. And this is the box in a rock where they got their notebooks in there for through hikers to register on. You're going to be through hiking, or anybody can just sign it. It's just a trail register. There's the first of several plaques that are on the AT here at the beginning. There is all of Georgia on my mind, and here's the infamous plaque in First Blaze. And we're gonna pay homage to the Blaze and get on the trail. Talk to you soon. Okay. So, first part of the trail is coming from Springer is nothing but rocks. Not anything like the trails you get further north you go, until of course you hit Roxylvania. But anyway, thought you'd want to see what the beginning of the trail looks like. Hadn't seen too many people on the trail yet. I've passed a few people heading north. Of course, I was heading south to get to Springer, and now I'm heading north, so we'll see. Passed a few people who had done the approach trail, don't know what possessed them, but they did, and a few people that didn't. Coming up on the trail crossing of the Benton McKay Trail, this actually links up with the Pinhoti Trail. My understanding is down in, is it Arkansas?
Mississippi, one of those Gulf states. You can pretty much go all the way from the Gulf Coast to Maine by linking up with that trail, Pinhoti to the Benton McKay to Appalachian Trail. So pretty cool. If you want to do another 2,000 mile through hike on the East Coast. Anyway, we'll get back to you later. All right, so this is the parking lot at where everybody parks to go to Springer or shuttle to drop off to go to Springer to get started. Nothing very remarkable about it. Just a place to park. A lot of day hikers park here as well. All right, continuing north. Well, spring has definitely sprung, but the trees hadn't got leafed out here at this elevation, so we still got some pretty decent views, or we'll have some. But this is pretty neat here. All these, I don't know, they look like daylilies. Some type of weeds, but it's pretty neat looking. They just go all the way down. They just disappear into the woods. Pretty sweet. So another thing about the trail at this point is that it's beaten down hard as a rock because, well, I know at least 2,000 through hikers have come through because I talked to a guy at Neel Gap before I caught my shuttle, and he said that he was number 2,000. So, and of course, day hikers and section hikers and all that. So, but this section's really beat down because every through hiker's made it this far.
Paul, you make a good video. Yeah, really.
So, some places with AT, not real rugged. It's like a highway or a cart path. So I just came through Three Forks. There's a lot of day campers there. Look like a couple families hanging out. So wasn't planning to stay there anyway, so I'm pushing on to Hawk Mountain. I'll have a detour up here in about 3/4 of a mile to Long Creek Falls. So get a chance to see that. Pretty good sized falls. I don't know if you can hear me or not. This is Long Creek Falls, about 1/10 of a mile off the trail. Well worth it coming up here. Get a nice little cold breeze coming off the falls. Water up if you need to. There's plenty of water holes after this though.
So it's another good reason to use GutHook's app, because GutHooks gives you a lot more information that the AWOL guide doesn't. It tells you that these falls are 1/10 of a mile off of the trail. AWOL just tells you where the trail intersects to these falls. So these falls, really nice place to stop and get you a nice refreshing breeze, cool breeze coming off of the falls.
AT is just always run into something unusual. I'm at Hickory Flats right now, crossing the forest road. There's a meadow. It's really a bald, but they maintain it. It's a wildlife planting, so it's not a natural bald. And then this road right here goes up to a cemetery, and there's a memorial to memory of Dallas M. Woody. He taught here in 1903, donated by family. Born 1850, died in 1915, so he was 65 years old. Bet he didn't draw Social Security. I wonder if he got anything from the Confederacy. Anyway, we'll keep going on the hawk. Now that says shed and cemetery. I think there may be a porta-john or something up there. Yeah, there is, because that's a toilet seat. Huh. So I think that's the one where there's a bathroom for hikers up there, or privy. I'm good. We'll keep rolling. So, you got to come out prepared for the trail. It will take some casualties. Already, just in the short time I've been on it, past a guy as I was going up to Springer. Before I got there, he was coming down, and he's wearing like a biker's leather vest. And he's got all this heavy gear, what looks like a day pack, and heavy compass. It's got some heavy military gear that he bought at a surplus store. So he was sitting down, and then I went to Springer, hung out for 20 minutes, and then caught him about a mile and a half, 2 miles later, sitting down again, and he wasn't able to speak. He was a pretty large fella too, so that doesn't mean you can't hike the AT. Definitely got to come prepared. Just passed another fella, probably in his early 30s, and we'd gotten word earlier in the day that Rangers were looking for a guy that got separated from his party, young guy, and wearing a blue shirt. They were looking for him. So what do you know? This guy's got on a blue shirt. He'd been separated from his party since early that afternoon. And he was sitting on the side of the trail, exhausted. Those were his words. So I checked on him. He looked like he'd be fine to make it the next 2 miles to Neel Gap where he was going. And he had family up here waiting on him. So when I get up here, I'll let them know where he's at, where he's on his way. Checked on him. He had water, food. It's not supposed to get down but to 44. So he is 2 miles from Hawk where his family is. So worst case scenario, they can backtrack to him. Anyway, the trail will take no prisoners. We'll take no quarter. So come prepared. Or have a bailout point. Have a plan. All right. We're doing the final push into Hawk. And that's what I got to deal with the rest of the way. All right. Here we go. Okay, so this is the sign from the government National Forest Service that designates Hawk Mountain Campsite, which is about 1 2/10 miles from the nearest road. And of course, it's in the middle of the wilderness over rocks and everything else. And if you will notice up in the top right-hand corner where the legend is, it has designated campsites for handicapped people. Okay, so I am all about handicapped people getting into the wilderness, but how they could possibly use this campsite, particularly those depicted with a wheelchair picture, I have no idea. And to make matters worse, the campsites for the handicap designated campsites
for handicapped people are the furthest away from the trail and the hardest to get to. In other words, the furthest off of the AT. So I just thought this was kind of ironic that the way the government does everything politically correct.
All right, so I'm at camp. I'm at Hawk Mountain Shelter. I've set up my tent, got water, got everything set up in the tent, got my campsite. I'm pretty much good to go for the night. Cooking some supper. There's probably about 30 people here, 20 to 30. Maybe 20 to 25, but it's probably at least a dozen tents. So anyhow, it's pretty much a shelter in the background. I'm not going to get real close to it, keep people's privacy, but this group over there, another group back there, some folks behind me back here brought their dogs, so we'll see how that works out tonight. But anyway, feeling pretty good. 8 miles here, but including the up to Springer, it was a 9-mile day, a little over a 9-mile day. So it started about 1:30. Can't remember what time I got here, but like judging by the sun, it's probably 6. So about 5 hours. Anyway, feeling pretty good. Took me some vitamin I, and gonna cook, and then might go up and socialize, or might just hang out down here and then go to bed. Had the trail pretty much to myself all day, and that's kind of the way I like it. So tomorrow, when I stealth camp, hopefully I'll be by myself. Maybe it's maximum of another group or something. But anyway, that's it. Might talk to you a little later.
Hawk Mountain Shelter and the campsite around there is really great. There's a room for 20 tents or more, and probably the best spot is if you walk further into the woods, way past the shelter, past the privy, you'll find this spot right here that's up on top of a hill. Good flat place with a fire ring, and it's just a real good place to be. Might be a bit windy in a storm, but it's really nice. I didn't pick that. I just picked a spot closer to the shelter. I was tired when I got in there, but far enough away where I wasn't interrupted by a conversation coming from the shelter. Weather was great. Sunset was just glorious coming in there and getting set up and getting ready to go to bed. So this was a good spot. It was about 8 miles in, a little less. So it worked out great for my trip.
All right, so it's Saturday, April 20th. The first Mohican out of camp. It's left camp about 8:07. Just getting started on the trail, and we're descending down into some type of gap. I don't know the name of it, but anyway, great morning, glorious morning. Looks like the day's gonna be glorious. Should be some views if there's any available. Got a little struggle with my left calf muscle. Not sure why. Didn't have that problem before. For some reason I'm having it today. Gonna have to get some type of roller or some type of recovery device to bring with me. Also realized I left my homemade butt pad at home. I always forget something. Hopefully I won't leave anything on the trail again. But and I left my sanitizer, so not too good. Anyway, happy as a lark to be here. This is froze last night, to be honest with you. My bag is just not suitable for 44 degrees, whatever it got to. Wound up about slept on and off. Got decent sleep, but I woke up 4 or 5 times, and I finally about, I guess it was 5, decided, what the heck, if I'm gonna be awake, I'm gonna try to go ahead and put on all my clothing that I also refer to my sleep system. So I got out of the bag, got all my, put on all my capelline, my tops, bottoms, put on my puffy, got back in there, and lo and behold, went right back to sleep. It was fairly warm, still just a slight chill, but certainly better than without all that stuff. So I know they say that bags, or I don't know who they is, but I've read that bags are rated based upon putting on all your clothes. So maybe it truly is a 44-degree bag, but I don't like to sleep with all those clothes and stuff. So definitely going to get me some type of quilt that's more like a 15-degree, so that I'll be comfortable at around 30. Anyhow, that's another story. So getting started, and here we go. Talk to you later. So just came through Hiker Gap. We were somewhere down in here. I think that's Hawk Mountain. We were down here at Hawk Shelter. Just climbed up from the gap. Left camp about 30 minutes ago. And this is what the good Lord's treated me with here. So it's pretty nice. AT's full of challenges for man and nature. But somehow, nature finds a way. And somehow through hikers find a way. So anyway, pretty cool. Talk to you later. Well, I didn't take a picture of it, but yes, there are bears on the Appalachian Trail. I just passed a pile of bear scat, and this is a bear hole where he's been digging for grubs. So yeah, this time of year there's not a lot of leafy browse for him to eat, so they'll dig for grubs. So yep, that's a bear, and he's somewhere on the trail, and that dirt's pretty fresh. So was the scat. Oh well, I'll keep my head on the eyes on a swivel.
Well, y'all, we're going to call it quits for this week. You may have somewhere to go or something to do, and we're only halfway through the hike. So tune in next week, and we'll finish out this hike. If you got anything out of it, you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. Please make a comment down below or ask any questions you might have. I'd appreciate if you'd hit that big red subscribe button. And as always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out there.